Ernest Kofi Nate, Evans Newton, Hope Selom Gabla, Chris Fuelty, Philemon Ababio Born Great, and George Animal. All of you wanted me to hit this song for you. They kept asking for the original song that is accompanying the meme for the pallbearers, and this is it. It's from, what's the name again? Vicetone and Tony Iggy. It's called Astronomia. Media Excellence, 25 years of broadcasting and leadership. I'm Gary L. Smith, and this is the Joy Fest Take, not a music show. We're here to do the sport, look at the big issues for the week. This week, especially, Joy Sports has been in the news because the man seated across from me broke the two big stories. One involving the Puma deal and the fact that it had been reduced by 30%, their deal with the Ghana Football Association. He'll give us a bit more perspective on that. And if you want to comment on it, please do as well. And also, the fact that Kwesi Appiah wanted to take on the Ghana Football Association, if possible, to FIFA to get his salary paid. We'll also touch on some of the other popular issues that have come in the last 24 hours. It's been interesting hearing Kevin Prince Boateng say that he would like to play for the Black Stars again. He did speak to his brother Jerome Boateng on an Instagram live chat, and he did say that. So I'd like to hear what you want to think. I mean, the answers on social media have been many. Many don't want him to come back, but a lot also want Kevin Prince back in the Black Star squad for one last hurrah. Should we? Would we? 0244340437. 0244340437. That's our WhatsApp line. Let's hear from you. Let's go for this commercial, and then when we come back, the show begins.
You've got games and games got you. Visit Game Stores for unbeatable deals on all your essentials, like the 500-gram Kellogg's Cocoa Pops for only 21 cedis 99, or 24 500-milliliter Bell Aqua Mineral Water for only 23 cedis. Deals are valid until 20 May 2020. View more deals and their home delivery and pickup option at www.gamestores.com.gh. T's and C's apply. You've got game, and game's got you.
Kevin Prince Boateng says, with the Ghana national team, I didn't like the way it ended because they gave me so much. But you never know. Maybe I can go back and play one more time again. Maybe I can go back and play one more time again. If you want Kevin back, let's know and why. If you think that TK Akona should shut the door on him, let's know and why. 0244340437. On my Facebook alone, we got 190 comments. I don't even want to go to the Joy FM, the main Joy FM page. Kwame Bibini opens the comments. He says, yeah, we should get him back, and why not? He comes with so much experience. Sheriff Abdul Karim says, yes, we need him. To err is human and to forgive is divine. Nisoa says, with his experience, I think we can and should get him. At least he has regretted his actions. Bright Osebonsu says, if Siki Akona wants his name to be tarnished, you should invite Kevin back to the Black Stars. Nanaya Bank says, Kevin is much better than the entire team right now. Even Sule and Jan are missed. Robert Kingham Ochil says, what does he have to offer? I know some of you, dear, even if Abedi says he can still play for the Black Stars, you start piling pressure on the authorities and coach to bring him back. Ishmael Ayine Akaribo says, oh, how? I don't think he's needed. He just used Ghana to resurrect his dwindling career. Kwesi A.C. Boateng says, of course, yes, we want him. The handlers of these players must be extra cautious when dealing with them. They are dark in complexion, but their minds are totally different culturally from those of us born and raised in Ghana. In Ghana, one cannot argue with the elderly, but here, they do anything they like. So coming to Ghana to camp 1 or 2 months for a tournament cannot change them overnight. That's a good comment, I think. Kwamina Imbra Jete says, there are young ones coming up. We should give them the chance rather and let players like Kevin say goodbye to the Black Stars. Hepkins Glover says, Kevin should be called back to play for the Black Stars. Joseph Afetogbo Congo says, we leave that decision to the coach and his technical team. If they can work with him, fair enough. AC George says, yes, boss, that's why we have the managers. He just has to be managed properly. Timothy Yeboah says, Kevin is welcome. I implore him to say it as it is. This country is full of bootlickers. After all, he has nothing to lose. He's in it all. Nana Ganza says, no, he feels it's better than those players who play in the Africa Cup of Nations. He only wants to play in the World Cup and friendly matches with the Europeans. Isaac Y.A. Brown says, Kevin is not good now. Just drop that weak player. Bright Avogla says, never, never. If he comes back, I'll go back to my hometown. This is Joy First Take. I'm Gary Al Smith. Hello again and welcome in the studio with me, Muftau Abdullahi. Hi, Muftau.
Hi, Gary.
Also joining us from home, George Ado Jr. Hi, George. Hello, George. Hi, Benedict. Yeah, I thought they were on the line. Hi, George. Hi, Benedict. Yes, we can hear you. Hi, guys.
Yeah, we're good.
What's going on? Wagwan.
Yeah, it's about time, we've got to rest.
You have to what?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Today we got a special request from about 7 different people who wanted us to play the Daddy Who song. So that's what we use as that. Yeah, Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You know what they said, those guys? Have you seen their latest video?
On the BBC?
Yeah, was it on the BBC?
Yeah, it was on the BBC.
Okay. So, George, when was it? Was it yesterday that I showed you that video? The video where they were advising people to stay at home and they
No, that wasn't the BBC one. They did it themselves on their Twitter feed, yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know what the leader said was that stay at home if you have nothing important doing in town, or you dance with us. You know what that means?
I know, man.
You dance with them. So if you don't want to dance with them, stay at home.
Exactly. So that is the advice from the guys who have become world famous. There have been so many iterations of their song. I saw a video of a silent, or I think a Hong Kong bar where they had guys serving food with the music and the thing like that. I saw merchandise at the Hong Kong airport selling for €50 a pop, of the guys, just like the guys are dressed. I saw Lego doing a special edition of the guys as well, and they are making money, Charlie. I hope they can make some of the money. That's what I want to say.
Of course.
I hope they can.
I mean, have you, the latest one that I saw after they got on Twitter, there was a story on the BBC that was talking about them, and then they tweeted out the story that, please, we are on Twitter now. Our handle is at
Comments are already coming in, guys. We have 40 minutes to talk, but we just wanted to break the ice, especially with the news just before I came on air that COVID-19 cases in Ghana have gone up to 4,012. So I've seen a lot of people reacting on social media. Guys, just calm down, observe the protocols, wear the face mask, wash your hands. You know the drill, and everybody will be fine. Jerry Inkum is already on our WhatsApp. He says, hi, Gary. I love this Daddy Who sick tune. Don't tell me you guys are about to bury the FA or anybody tonight. No, we are not going to bury the FA or anybody. Muftau, we have more comments coming in before we start the show proper. right, so our main topic for discussion today is Kevin Prince Boateng. He says he wants to come back. We will also touch on the Ghana FA and the fact that, they have responded to Kwesi Appiah's threats. Is that a right word, Benedict and George?
Yeah. Come again.
Is that the right word? Kwesi Appiah is threatening the Ghana FA that if they don't pay him his $180,000 or $185,000 thingy, he's going to take them to FIFA. They've responded and said that, Obia Deka, Abankra Deka.
He said to not resort to the law court. You rather will take them to FIFA should they fail to pay the money.
Yeah. So should we start with that on the Kevin Prince Boateng one? Since it's the most.
Well, I think the Kevin Prince Boateng is trending, so maybe we can start with that.
Okay. So Kevin wants to come back. George, let me get your thought first. Were you surprised when you heard him say that to his brother on the Instagram Live?
You see, I don't even know. I just didn't know what kind of emotion, because I'm all confused about Kevin Prince Boateng. I'm really confused about it. Even before I look at what he can do for the Black Stars, I'm so confused about what exactly he wants to communicate. I'm very, very confused, and I'm saying this because there are times when he's looked like he's not interested. There are times when he's looked like those at the helm of affairs are simply not the right to work with. There are times when it looked like he would like to play for the Black Stars. There's time when and it's just an interesting musical chair, and we're just in this vicious cycle, and we are moving around with Kevin Prince Boateng. At every point in time, or just after a year or some 6 months, the story comes up again. He wants to play. I'm already tired about all of this, and I think we just have to look at it from where it is. I wasn't surprised. It's something that's been coming. I remember your interaction that you had with him on Twitter when Tiki Akon had made the point, the Black Stars coach had made the point that he met him, and then he came up and said, no, okay, nobody met me. And then Gary went on, and then I don't know, Gary says, okay, plan an interview anywhere in the world, and we'll come. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell the world where that has gotten to, but we'll just keep it. So for me, I'm very, very much confused, and whether we need him in the Black Stars or not, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
This is a very emotive topic, so I'll allow listeners to bring. We have messages upon messages. Matches upon matches. Benedict. Muftao, take it away.
Before I come in, let me just bring a comment from.
No, I want you to read the comments, not to opinion.
Okay. He's saying that Kevin must come and play for Hearts of Oak and forget featuring for the Black Stars. I don't know.
Who is that?
He didn't add his name.
His name is there.
Can't you do add your name?
Platoon commander from Tema.
Platoon commander from Tema. Okay. Why not Kotoko, but Hearts of Oak? Why do you want Kevin to come and play for? You see, Gary, this is very interesting. Calvin wanting a return to the Black Stars for a third time. It's very difficult, like George mentioned, it's very difficult to understand where he's coming from, because...
what is difficult? The man says that his quote was clear. He said that the first relationship did not end well.
He left unceremoniously.
Yes, he says it didn't end well, and so he would... And if you go further in the quote, he says that he has always had Ghana in his heart.
Who muddied the waters?
Oh, George, why? Allow the man.
Who muddied the water? You see, this was a gentleman who came, did well for the Black Stars during the 2010 World Cup, told us he was going to retire. He did. Returned for the 2014 World Cup, was sacked from camp for alleged indiscipline, and since then he's been on and on about how the leadership of the Ghana FA, the technical team, were those who did not do the right things and not him. He kept shaking responsibility from himself, and now he wants to return to the same team. I don't think so. And even the General Affairs Commission report also even indicated that he shouldn't get close to the senior national team. So it's a very long road for him if he really wants to come back to the Black Stars. There are so many things he must do before he will get that. He can continue to be in the hearts of Ghanaians by doing charitable things, and we'll gladly appreciate that. But to come and kick football in the team, I'm not sure so many people will be interested in hearing those stories.
Benedict, have we heard your view? No, we haven't.
No, Yeah, Guy, I mean, it's that time of the year where, of course, you expect this story to come up. Because
it's that time of the year. Why? Is it an annual affair?
But we've been used to this since Kevin came and left. Almost every year, it gets to a time where, there's one quote or the other from talking about the Black Stars and how he could come back. After he announced his retirement, which, of course, it was based on injuries that he said he couldn't travel around to play at that time and he wanted to focus on his club career. There were times that he was asked the question that, okay, so what's next? He said, so when the time comes and is right, I will come. And gradually we got to a level where, some top officials in this country went to see him when we were going for the 2014 World Cup. That's one thing we should also at times make it clear that Kevin didn't just come. Efforts were made. People went to speak to him. The coach went to speak to him that he wanted him to come. And then the guy eventually, yes, he also knew what he wanted because this is the World Cup and it's big that he will be at the World Cup. He came. And now today, this one comes in. I think that's simple. Where we've got into, if Kevin was consistent with our national team, and I want to use Asamoah as an example here. If the Kevin situation was an Asamoah situation where he's been playing for us for a very long time, he's been to the AFCON, he's been playing for us in qualifiers and all, then you can look at a possible comeback. But this is a player who, when he got the opportunity to play for us, yes, people say we did him good. He also did us good because when he came, if he had not played well at the 2010 World Cup, he wouldn't have gotten the deal that he got at Genoa, which eventually got him into AC Milan. You understand? Then he went on and things were good for him. And up till now, we've all seen the clubs that he's been to in his career. I think that at this point, he's not been consistent for us. We don't need, in a time where we have a new coach where he's trying to build a new team to, introduce new players, to blend with the already experienced players that have been very consistent for us. I think that we don't need that at this point. Yes, you remember after when Kosiki Akono, unveiled his team, he was asked a question about Kevin Boateng and he mentioned that he had a chat with the player. Kevin later came and said, yeah, he had a chat with him and he believes that CK is the best person for the job. At that point, I realized that, yes, Kevin was trying to communicate something, that CK is the best person for the job. He had, he's had a conversation with him. So a possible comeback, of course, will be on the cards. And at this point where, he's dilly-dallying with his career at Fiorentina, things did not really go well, so he's now at Besiktas on loan and he had to return. Of course, if the national team is there and there's an Africa Cup of Nations where he knows very well that there are good pitches to go and play on, he wouldn't go and play on a Sao Tome Principe and Sao Tome pitch, which you will step on the pitch and be looking at the pitch, and when he kicks a ball, you will look at his knee and looks at his toes. But of course, he would want to come and play. I think that we just have to move on. This is not the time to, revive that. Yes, it's a story that has come. We can talk about it, but it's time to move on.
Time to move on. We have a full house here, two on the line, and 4 observing social distancing in the studio. Nathaniel Ato and Hans Mensando have both joined the party. Hey. Party after party. Kevin,
this is a Kevin return party.
Yeah, this is a Kevin return party, Charlie.
Someday you give me some fake fans some time back.
Yeah.
To the studio, we're having some show. So there be fake fans.
I know, man. Charlie.
Anyway.
Your days that way, that job they do.
Charlie, but you remember we had this conversation some years ago.
Benedict says it's an annual affair.
Yeah. No, but I remember.
So this is the 2020 edition.
Yeah. But I mean, when it hit the peak was after the World Cup.
Is it the what?
The peak. After
you are using the word peak in this day and age.
Which of the peaks are you referring to?
Please, the word peak is banned on this show for the duration of this time when we have hit 4012 kids. Don't use the word peak.
There's nothing like peak.
Where it has hit the top.
Where it has hit the top. Okay.
Thank you very much,
Charlie. So you remember we had this conversation after the Brazil World Cup, and Kevin just had. I think he has luck on his side. He had luck on his side when it came to the national team because he was away for whichever reason we don't know, and then he comes in just at the right time, plays the final qualifier, scores a goal in Egypt, and gets his name back on the lips of all the fans. And then we get to Germany. We get to Brazil, and then we see a completely different side of the coin when it comes to Kevin regarding his attitude to the national team, where he's playing against the same Germany he played against in 2010, and now there's an aerial ball, and Kevin doesn't want to jump so high because he doesn't want to offend the thousands of German fans in the stands.
Charlie.
And this is the same Kevin who was not on talking terms with his blood brother 4 years before.
Anyway, they have done an Instagram live, and that's where this quote came from.
Yeah, but you
as of blood, it is thicker
and I'll tell you something
it's thicker
as well.
than apartheid.
But the other thing I that also strikes me is how these things or how this kind of behavior affects cohesion in the team. Because you remember I mentioned to you that I had conversations with some of the Black Stars players who played very actively during the qualifiers. They were not exactly pleased about that situation. Let me tell you what exactly it is that the Black Stars player, one of them said to me. He said, look, qualifier, now we'll just come smoothly and come and enter the team and just go like that. So it's a bit of a, who doesn't want to see the Kevin Prince,
of 2010?
Who doesn't want to see that kind of Kevin Prince and that kind of attitude being shown by every player on the pitch? I mean, that's going to be big.
So your point is, you want him to come or not?
Look, I think we've gone
that horse has bolted from the stable.
Because as
okay,
much
I just want to, because of time, just want
sure. But
Benedict.
Before we wrap up, remember, the more you keep a Kevin Prince in there, the more you deny one other player the opportunity to shine. It could be our next biggest star.
I mean, I'm reading a lot of comments. A lot of people suggest that he's delivering in his club or whatever it is. So around the table, George is a no, Benedict is a no, Nathaniel is a no, Hans is a.
I mean, you know why?
No, I don't.
The fact that Kevin is even talking about Ghana and the Black Stars for me is insulting.
Hans is here.
It's insulting. I feel insulted as a Ghanaian. And I've always said this. There are certain players of Ghanaian origin who have found themselves playing for other countries. And that if these players didn't get the opportunity to play for those countries, they would have opted for the Black Stars.
Your call has been put on hold.
Yes,
please
we've created a situation where the Black Stars have sort of become a second option for some of these bugger players, as they are known. So I can tell you for a fact, if Mario Balotelli had not ended the call up to the Azuri, he would have been playing for the Black Stars. Same for Danny Welbeck. Maybe Memphis Depay as well. They are there. And Kevin's situation was the same. If Kevin had been called up by the German national team, he wouldn't have played for the Black Stars.
I think rather if he wasn't kicked out in 2001, they were going for the Euros Under 21 championship.
So the point I'm making is that if the German national team and the Black Stars were both realistic options for Kevin Prince Boateng, he would never have opted for Ghana. And that is why I feel insulted that after using the Black Stars as a means to make a World Cup appearance, 2 World Cup appearances as a matter of fact, and ditching us in the manner that he did, he would be talking about the Black Stars at this moment, knowing very well what playing for the Black Stars did for his career and what potentially, if he does play for the Black Stars again, he will do for his career. It's insulting, frankly.
No,
okay.
but Hans,
so it's a no.
No, it's a no for Hans.
If I'm coming, if you're a Black Stars player, you play the same position as Kevin Prince Boateng, don't get comfortable. But then again, Kevin should be the last of your worries. I don't think that he should make a return to the Black Stars.
I think we've often been very unfair to Kevin Prince Boateng at times, because this
has he been fair to us?
This is a player who needs to go undergo serious medications every single match he plays on his knee,
and so a lot of players have done. Novelty. You have any idea what Stephen Appiah did?
If you
went to the 2006 Africa Cup of Nations,
Stephen Appiah hasn't come out to tell the world that. Stephen Appiah hasn't come out to tell the world that I need to go undergo medical ABC every single match. Stephen Appiah hasn't told that story. Stephen Appiah has always been that gentleman Stephen Appiah has always been that gentleman who has decided to put his patriotism ahead of his personal interest of saying that because I'm not physically fit, I cannot play. But Kevin Prince Boateng gave us plethora of excuses of why he was retiring from the senior national team. So if you are someone who understood his medical situation, you are likely to say that often you don't be too hard on him when he says that for certain matches because of the caliber of your pitches, I cannot play. You and I know our pitches.
Quick rebuttal. Quick rebuttal. You use the word in your submission, and that's the word I want to emphasize.
Excuses.
Patriotism.
No, you used two words, Muftau.
Excuses.
You said patriotism and you used the word excuses.
Yes.
You used patriotism for Stephen Appiah.
Yes.
And you use excuses. We didn't use that choice of words.
The point is,
so guy, where are you driving to?
No. You are defending the guy.
The whole idea of playing for the national team, okay, the whole idea of representing your country, of wearing the colors of your nation, is to serve. And that requires a certain amount of sacrifice. People have sacrificed to get a Black Stars to where it was before Kevin came to benefit from it. Nobody can tell you Kevin didn't benefit from playing for the Black Stars at those 2 World Cups. We know, before the 2010 World Cup, what was his career trajectory? And what was his career trajectory after the 2010 World Cup?
He went to AC Milan
immensely. You understand? He goes off, we qualify for the 2014 FIFA, or just before we're about to qualify, he comes in, gets a spot on the team, plays another World Cup. On his record, he has 2 FIFA World Cups. There are players who have sacrificed more for this country.
Laie Kingston.
Who have sacrificed
way
more for this country.
Let's call Laie Kingston on the line right now. Let's call. Did you listen to his last interview? How bitter he was.
Of course.
Yeah, George.
And yet,
no, it's Benedict.
Benedict. Yeah.
You know, Hans just made a point about Kevin benefiting a lot from us. Yes, fantastic. But there's one thing that we also have to know. The time we gave him the opportunity, if he had not played well, he wouldn't have gotten the chance to go to Genoa. So we also have to be fair to him, on that part.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, we are having a net discussion of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, I could give you 1 CD and you could give me 10 CDs. What is the net benefit we've got from each other? And that's what we are having. Muftau, let's get more comment, and it's really buzzing. Yeah.
Gary, this one is saying that Calvin's comment or interest could be linked to the change of the coach. Maybe Calvin didn't want to play under Kwesi Appiah.
You didn't send your name.
You didn't send your name. Kindly do add your name when you are sending it.
0244-340437. 0244-340437.
And this one, it says that Gary, good show as always. Calvin back to the Black Stars. Why not a half-fit Calvin is far better than most of the players that we call now.
I want you to. When people say this, name names. I have time. We have time. give me the names of regular Black Stars players.
A half-fit Calvin is better than.
When fully fit, are not as good as a half-fit Kevin. Please tell me.
Okay, let me proceed with a comment. He says that, but the question is, can CK handle his ego? I think no. Someone who couldn't handle a homegrown talent like Kingston at Hearts of Oak, we should always get our best for the team. Check the current Nigeria team. Half is foreign-born Nigerians who have joined the team, and why not Ghana? Godwin from North Kaneshi. And that one, he's also saying that why should Calvin come back? For what? I think he's played his part. Now that we are building a new team, we don't need him. He's an opportunist, innocent. Atadenta, opportunist? Okay. And this one, is it Kofi?
No.
No, Kofi, no.
All right, this is a Joy Fest.
Hey, Muftau, this is your analysis, dear. Anyways, it is your opinion. Dawood from Helsinki. And then this one is coming from Andy Corte. What is he saying? I think we should give Calvin Prince Boateng a second chance.
This will be his third. This will be his third chance.
Okay, this is his third chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though difficult, let's please give him a third chance, not second chance. Let's stop unnecessary hatred and give Calvin Prince Boateng the second chance. Natana Ato, please, let's give him a second chance. And the Corti.
It's not a second chance, and first of all, you understand? It's not a second chance, it's a third chance. Like I wrote on my Twitter, and I know that this is not a very popular view. For me, I'd put him in, and I know George and Benedict will not want to hear this, I'll bring him back and put him in a friendly, if only to give him an opportunity to properly speak officially. You know what I mean? To say a proper
apologies to the nation.
I don't want to use the word apology because there are a lot of people, a lot of listeners out there who believe he didn't do anything wrong. To just settle the matter with whatever it is that was the problem, and for us to close that chapter on our history, because it's forever going to be I'm not saying a tournament, I'm saying a friendly or something. Just bring it now.
Who are those that will be giving who are those people? I don't think who are those people who keep saying he hasn't done anything wrong? Look, I had a conversation with Kwesi Appiah on this matter.
Yeah.
Kwesi Appiah, Kwesi Appiah is like is named tagged the silent killer.
The silent killer.
The man was incensed about the matter. You don't come telling me that you grew up somewhere, so when you come to Ghana you can come and swear in camp and it's fine because you grew up outside. What happened to that old adage that when you go to Rome you do what the Romans do?
But again, just to chip in, decency is universal.
The point you made.
Decency is universal.
The point you made earlier about giving him maybe a friendly.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Has Kevin done anything over the last few years to merit another appearance in the Black Stars jersey?
Well, he's played in some good teams.
Well, for me, I don't think he's done enough.
Right.
I think that would be unfair to a lot of other quality players. For instance,
for him to be even given a friendly chance.
Okay. Tete is out there performing and is not getting an opportunity.
Yeah, because there's 6 of us today. We are going to do we are going to make the time like Suya. You chop small, you chop small. So we have just about 2 more topics, and I like to be very brief, and succinct with our comments. Now, Muftau, you brought us the story about the Puma and the 30% reduction.
Yeah.
We have the views on Kevin Prince Boateng. We'll read them on our comments as and when. But you brought us a 30% reduction story on Puma, that they are cutting down on our money.
Yeah.
$500,000 they give us in terms of kits every year.
500,000 euros.
Sorry. And then 800,000 euros they give us in terms of the financial package.
Yes.
They have cut that by 30%. My first question to you, people ask me, does it mean that from the time they signed the deal in late 2005 going to 2006, they have been giving us that amount in cash or whatever it is that is agreed? Because, this is the 3rd installment that we are signing with them.
Yes.
Have they been giving us cash every year for the past, since 2006?
Per the information I gathered, I'll prefer to start from 2014 because I gathered from that of 2014.
Okay.
Yes. So I would like to talk about the last contract where I was made to understand that, yes, annually we were given 800,000 euros.
So we got that money?
Yes, 800,000 euros.
Wow.
And then 500,000 euros worth of case. So when they sell the case, then Ghana will gain 8% out of that money that they've sold.
Replicas,
yes. Yeah. So when they sell, let's say, they will produce 500,000 euros worth of the replicas. So when they sell, Ghana will make 8%. So when we make the 8%, it goes us to top to the 800,000 euros that they give to us in finances. The other bit of the story too was that when we go to participate in tournaments, we had performance benefits. So let's say from the group stages, just for qualifying to take part in the group stages, could be worth 100,000 euros. So when we make it to a quarter-final or semi-final, depending on where we get to, it could even rise to 400,000 euros. That's what I got it. So what it means is that the financial package or the sponsorship agreement with Puma was such that it was not just case for us, but there were also some monetary figures attached to it.
Good. Now my second question is, and I'll bring Benedict and George in so that we look at the other parts and questions and observations that you guys had as well. This Puma thing, from the very beginning, we knew that there was a component that had to do with them building pitches and stuff.
Yes.
What's the explanation, and did they ever do any of it?
That bit of it is very interesting because I tried asking questions to find out from that angle, but one thing was very clear. It was that the conversations with Puma were such that they were supposed to provide a case, and as people who were sponsoring us, there was a responsibility of also giving us the finances. So the pitches or whatever, according to the information I got, were never things that were a priority in the conversations that ensued between the Ghana Football Association and Puma.
Very interesting. George, Benedict, anybody wants to take a crack at this Puma thing? And somebody is asking, I think his name is Atakwejo on Twitter. Let me read his comment. He says, Gary Al Smith and the Joy Sports team, ever since you broke this Puma story, you guys have interested me with your pronunciations. Benedict on AM Sports this morning said Puma. Gary, you also said Puma. And whoever did the report also said Puma. What I know is Puma.
Okay, Gary. So,
yeah, George.
Gary, I think this is my... Now, I'm sure this is my last comment on the show. We have a lot of guys, in the studio today, and it's great to have the whole team around. I have a question. I'm not even going into the details, why the devaluation and all of that. I think it's all of that. But I was asking this question, and Gary, I thought we spoke about it in the afternoon. Why is it that when it comes to issue of sponsorship, you always need a journalist to go and do a scoop somewhere, something must happen before a report comes up, and there has to be an issue before we start getting the numbers?
In other words, why you are asking why officialdom does not bring out the information before we go and look for it?
Yes, I don't understand. That is my only worry. I don't know what we can do. Even though it looks like it's a practice that it's like a normal practice everywhere, in my mind, that is where the problem is. I don't know, because and if it was just because we are not stakeholders, I understand. But we are not stakeholders come on and say that we have not seen a contract, we haven't seen this because one person signed it, because another signed it. There is so much secrecy, shrouded around all these sponsorships and all of that. Because with this particular Puma contract we're talking about, there were so many figures that were bandied about before. Yeah. And if we spend our time to go through it, some very, very good journalists we know came out with information, and at the end of the day, it's something else. So I just don't know how we can solve this. I don't know how we can solve it, but I think that it's an area that we really, really need to look at.
Yeah, and I recall when you spoke about it this afternoon, the answer I gave was that, by the very nature of their job, administrators, whether it's in politics, whether it's in sport, they like to hedge information. They don't like to bring us the figures themselves. Yes, a lot of administrators pay lip service to transparency, and if it doesn't take journalists to go and find out, like this story, Muftau had to go and ask this person to ferret out the information before we got confirmation from sources within the FA. So there's that. Benedict, what do you have to say about this Puma thing?
Yeah, Gary,
were you surprised at the reasons? First of all, the two reasons which were given.
Well, not entirely surprised, and I perfectly agree with what George mentioned. There was a perfect opportunity for the FA to have told us all these before it came out, because recently there was a meeting between the FA president and officials of Puma in Germany where Mr. Randiabe was also part of that meeting. And of course, we all know that per practice and per the practice of the kit sponsors of all the national teams, the contracts always have to be reviewed based on the performance of a team in a tournament. So, for instance, if Nike sponsors you or Puma, now we are talking about Puma, so let me use them as an example. So, for instance, if they sponsor you in let's say, for a 2-year period, and then within that 2 years, your national team, Ghana, you don't qualify for any major competition, be it the Nations Cup, the World Cup, for that period. Normally what they will do is they will review the contracts, because you didn't go for that tournament, and certain things that are due, they wouldn't, give it to you. Rather, will give the team that is selling their product. So if, let's say, in Africa, you have Ivory Coast, you have other countries that they sponsor. So Ivory Coast consistently, if they are making the finals of the Africa Cup of Nations and are consistently getting to the World Cup, there's no way Puma will reduce downwards in terms of the percentage they give them in the contract. Rather, they will increase it. But in our case, because, of course, reasons known to all of us, we didn't do well, couldn't qualify for the next tournament, and then at the point we were going to renew the contract, that was when this issue came up. And then we were not told that Muftau had to, tell us. I think that it beholds on the authorities to just let us know some of these things. It doesn't hurt to tell us that, this is the situation that we find ourselves, and that it is based on A, B, C, D. As Nano Safo mentioned, that yes, there's a reduction, but you wouldn't corroborate what we mentioned. There's a reduction, and that is based on A, B, C, D, which his reason was the expose by Anas, Army Anas. And we also know that it's based on performance. And looking at our performance, we couldn't make the last World Cup. Nations Cup didn't really go well. So next time if they are coming, don't expect to get the same figures.
Yeah. So just to recap for listeners, Puma thing is important in the context of what has gone on this week. Now, this is the week where we have heard from the GFA through documents that we got here at Joy Sports again that there's a debt hanging around their necks.
Absolutely.
It's important also that just maybe 2 weeks ago, many of us thought that if and when COVID-19 went away, the GFA was going to have a certain amount of money to be able to pump into football.
I mentioned on Facebook, you remember that with the $500,000 US, there was no need for the conversation about
stimulus packages for them. So, in the context of what has happened in the last 2 weeks, suddenly we have moved from a regime where we thought as journalists and people in Ghana felt that we have some money coming from FIFA. At least we can use it to chalk something.
Yeah.
To the fact that the FA says they owe up to 13 million Ghana cedis.
And in fact, their revenue streams has been cut by 30%.
By 30% with this Puma thing, which means that we are going into the red.
Absolutely. Now,
which probably means that all our football, from women's football to youth football to Ghana Premier League to everything, will be going down because there's no money.
Yes. Now, for me, what is worrying in all of this is the fact that, of course, it's our job as journalists to hunt for information, to find out information. But looking at where we are coming from and the fact that transparency is one of the
what's the biggest issue?
Exactly. One of the benchmarks that people are going to judge this administration because of how the Nyantichi administration was vilified in light of the Anas documentary. One would have thought that they were going to be a bit more open about some of these things, that it wasn't going to take journalists proactive, it wasn't going to take journalists to go dig, and then I'll probably have to headline it expose or revealed or uncovered. You understand? It sends a certain message across to the public.
Just for shaky reasons. When Muftar sent me the draft of his piece to do, that was his headline. Revealed. And I removed the review. Muftar there, he likes that life like that.
I mean, Muftar is even general. Muftar is written exposed. It sends a wrong message, to the public and also to the people whose monies you are constantly talking about wanting to have in terms of investment. What sort of confidence does it whip up? If you are going to shroud things in secrecy, maybe that's not what you're doing. I want to believe that is unintentional. But they need to be up and doing in terms of how transparent this regime is going to be. Look, eyes are watching, and make no mistake, Ghanaians are interested after all the things that we saw, because you see, the number 12 documentary gave us a sense that a lot of things have been done in secrecy. Now people want to see the things that go on at the Ghana Football Association. Look, without necessarily divulging the key details of the contract, come out, make some of the information available to the public. Don't wait for Muftar or Gary or anybody to go find out the information. It may probably not be right.
Let me ask a controversial question. And Benedict, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Benedict. Now, in a typical household situation, right? You've got the parents who are the controllers of the home. They have information. There are kids at home. There are things that may affect the kids or other members of the family. It is true that transparency is good, but is it every bit of information? I know this is an apples and oranges argument, but you get what I'm coming from.
Yes,
so the GFA went to meet Puma in January. They talked, evidently they knew about this, that the thing will be reviewed downwards. I mean, it had been done even up to Dr. Kofi Amoah's time by the normalization committee. Really, honestly, as some of us are arguing here, should they really come and tell us that, when we went, they have reviewed the thing downwards? Don't we have some information that should be given on a need-to-know basis? And is this one of them, Benedict?
I think it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all if they come out and tell us that this is the situation. Because when they came, they made us understand that there were certain things that we're going to get from Prima, with the exception of the 30% off. You understand? And at the point, if you remember, when normalization committee was there, we're even looking at getting.
Your call has been put on hold. Please wait. Your call has been put on hold.
Hold on, Benedict. I think George is on another call. George Ado, tell all your people that you're on the first.
Yeah, just before Benedict continues, let me just chip this in quickly before we wrap it up. Gary, in 2010, I was in South Africa. I came back to Accra just before the game against Germany. Now, we were coming off a very good performance at the Africa Cup of Nations, so nobody can tell me about performance at that time. At OR Tambo Airport, I couldn't find a single Black Stars jersey to buy. I was at the Santa Mall. I couldn't find a single Black Stars jersey to buy. I was at the Cresta Mall. I couldn't find a single Black Stars jersey to buy. And this was inside South Africa, the host nation, an African country. Clearly, there was something wrong regarding the liaising bit, the collaboration bit, where this representative of Puma and this representative of the FA were ensuring that everybody was adhering to all the provisions within the contract. Clearly, that wasn't done, and that is my area of worry. So clearly, something was just not right about this whole deal. Let's go back. If we have to go to Le Coq Sportif and they can get us very attractive jerseys to, you know, there's something about there's something about Nike and the way they go about, you know.
But right now we have renewed the Puma deal, so it has to be in the next after 4 years.
Well,
unless we want to terminate it.
Unless we want to terminate it.
But you know, let's make sure that we make it available, because you make it available, then you can stir sales.
Anyway,
if it's not available, people can't.
All right, wrap it up. George, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, George, we don't like the fact that your call was on hold. Please.
Sorry about that, though.
Yeah. Tell your boys. We know you have a lot of gigs tonight. I mean,
which boys? Yeah, boys.
Virtual gigs. That's it.
George, so wrap it up for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just clearly made the point about how we can make some of these things transparent. Yeah. I think some of these things are big enough to come out. So we're not saying that once you go and have a meeting, that you must